whatever the motive is, it harms the actual mother organization. Why I say in a way, I would explain. A lot of them go in there to make that mother creates attention, and that attention helps to broadcast the mother opinion. They will do this knowingly or unknowingly, depending on their motives. If they are sent by the opposition, they end up creating a lot of confusion, as we've seen in the face of IPOB. You've had a lot of splinter groups in IPOB, a lot of them claiming the same name, same leader, same function. But then when you begin to listen to their activities and utterances, you begin to see the differences. The taste of the pudding is in the eating, and that's where you actually see it. Again, whether they are creating money for themselves or whether they intend to divert views on the mother platform, it depends on how you take it as the mother platform. They may actually be the vehicle for moving you forward. They may actually help you to propagate what you were propagating if you handle it well. Because at the end of the day, you'll be able to tell which one is fake and which one is real if you are very analytical, if you are very critical in analyzing. These are what happens. If as time goes on, let me allow the people to speak, but I may come in if need be. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mazi Austin. Thank you very much. Thank you. You see, as a people, we need to appreciate. This has been my stand. We need to appreciate opposition, but we need to also understand their intention. You see, we need to understand who are these people. What is their? It doesn't matter how long you've known that person. In any struggle for freedom, the most dangerous set of enemies are not always the ones wearing uniform. Nah. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy you have is that one standing right beside you in every rally. Is that one who is with you in every meeting. Is that one who is very punctual in all meetings. Is that one who pays all his due. The one who shouts all hell Biafra with you. Sometimes these are the most dangerous enemies. These are the most dangerous enemies because you know what? They are close to you. They listen to your meeting. They listen to your information. They know your identity. And sometimes you may be seated here thinking that these people who later become agent provocateurs and all these saboteurs, you think that, oh, it can never be you. Yes, I know what you mean. I know you are strong. I know you believe you will never give up. You believe you will never go astray. But first of all, study them in all humility. Study them and know what are the certain things that has made them go astray. Is that their desire for power? Is it their desire for control? Is it their desire for for controlling others, or their desire to make sure that things revolve around them? What is it that makes these people that you are looking at today, Or is it their chronic disobedient nature, their lack of discipline? Is it what caused it? You've got to study them. You need to study them very well, and understand, how did these people fall? That's the first thing we must do. How did they fall? So that you cannot fall. So understand that the enemy will fight us with everything they've got. Especially in a movement like us, the fight is first won and lost in the mind. In the mind. For those of you who read the Bible very well, at some place they say that the devil disguised like the angel of light. You know what that means? Because he knows that if he appears the way you will identify it, you will not follow it, because you will know, hey, you devil, get behind me. But for it to appear, it has to appear like an angel of light. So many of you don't know why in the book of what? For me? Can't give their mommy, stop disturbing me. Today, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about understanding and unmasking the enemies within. So, first of all, ask yourself, are you, by your actions towards your fellow comrade, an enemy within? Because not all of you have you know have already come out in the open. Some of you are here with us still smiling, shouting all hail Biafra, shouting IPOB one family. Some of you are here, but it starts gradually. It starts gradually, gradually, by rejecting instruction from your superior. That's how it starts. By disregarding your superior because you have more educational qualification than your superior, or because you ride a bigger car than your superior, or because you are taller than your superior, or because your English is sweeter than your superior, or whatever language you speak where you are, or because you are a landlord and your superior is a tenant. Sometimes that is how it starts. But we are not going to build an IPOB in which we do not see the Biafra that we want. It's not going to be possible. So, agent provocateur, splinter groups. The term splinter group originally described an operative who is deliberately cut off from the main body so that when they do something, they will not be. But in this particular context, it is referred to individuals or small group created by the establishment to infiltrate, to discredit, and to destroy the resistance movement from within. So when you see some of these people talking, Ask yourself what they are saying, the things they are doing, the things they are posting, the saga that they call it, that they are pushing. Does this distract us or does this help us achieve Biafra? Simple question. It's as simple as that. Ask yourself, this person conduct, what this person is doing, what this person is posting, what this group of people are posting, what this person is allowing to be posted. What are the chances that these things are going to help us to achieve Biafra? If you cannot find that possibility, then you must know that it is the classic textbook example of the activity of either splinter group or agent provocateurs. You don't need a psychic to tell you that. You don't need that. We are taught here to be critical in our thinking process. We are taught here to be objective in our reasoning so that we are not swayed by emotion. So that we're not swayed by false narrative. Measure it. Everything you hear and see, put it on a scale and weigh it and ask yourself a simple question. Does this allow us get closer to getting Biafra or does this distract us? Hmm? Why do these people exist? What is their purpose for existing? Because they have been programmed. Some of them don't even know that they are being used. But you see, the thing with doing evil or being destructive is that whether or not you know you are being used, it does not change the reality and the fact that you are being destructive. And that is why when you do what is wrong, it does not matter whether you know you are being used or not. So we must be careful so we don't become like them by listening to them and believing what they are saying without subjecting it to critical thinking and objective reasoning. It's very important. The powerful interests, they always fear a united opposition. You must know that as a foundational knowledge. Let every other thing be built on that. We have very powerful enemies as Biafrans. And I am telling you today that the powerful do not like a united enemy. Sorry, a united opposition. So instead of fighting them openly, they find a way to control it. How do I mean by controlling it? If they get you engaged in debating about how many children somebody has, if they get you engaged in debating about who sleeps with who, if they get you engaged in discussing about who made disbursement to who, if they get you engaged in unnecessary, in the very insignificant topic, when will you have the time to focus on that which is significant? That is how they control you. So they create what they call a control opposition because they fear a united one. And what do this control opposition do? They always have an assignment. One of the first things they do is to steer anger. To steer anger. Understand that emotion, but not they attack a particular set of emotions. The first thing is they steer anger, not just in everybody. They steer anger in the people that are hardcores by trying to disguise some things that you have always known to be true to sound like they are no longer true. They try to make you feel that somebody who has been working pro bono isn't really working pro bono, because they want you to be angry. They want you to say, Chineke, so how can they name it? You'll be angry. And these people, that anger, their goal is to push you as a well-meaning IPOB member, as a well-meaning Biafran, to push you into a very harmless activity first. Very harmless activity. Harmless. Some activity that you don't even, that nobody will consider harmful. In your touch mind, in your clear mind, these are harmless activities. What are the examples of these harmless activities? One of the example is, oh, Mazinam Khan is the one who called all of us. I love Mazinam Khan, but I don't understand DOS. I love DOS, but I don't understand Mazinam Khan. Small things. Oh, I will not pay my dues until Mazinam Khan comes out. I love him so much that I am not even eating because he has been jailed. They take your mind away from realizing the fact that it is actually IPOB that is capable of bringing Mazinam Khan. They take away from your mind the ability to understand that there is no freedom fighter who is just released after he has been captured. Released to come and do what? To come and continue? To come and do what? All the examples they're citing to you, they fail to tell you that it is when the struggle manifests that fruit that we are looking for, which is the total freedom, that is when they release the leader of the movement. Any release before then that is not orchestrated by certain activities by IPOB is not a true release. They put you in a situation where you say, oh, if Biafra is not returned by Mazinam Kanu, I don't want it. You think it's harmless. You think you love Nnamdi Kanu. You think you are his best follower. You think you are loyal. But what they have simply done is to push you into a very, very harmless activity. And then they go out and create another group, subgroup, that are pushed into extreme violence. That is their job. That is their job. They create people here. All these people in the bush answering all sorts of names. Ekperima and his people. Extreme violence. Why? All they are trying to do in these two efforts is to discredit that very cause that you are fighting. Nothing else. They want to discredit what you are both fighting for. And by the time you realize it, if you're not careful, everything will just go boom. And you'll be like, if I had known, no. But you see, this Biafra we are fighting now, there is no had I known inside. We are going to know. We are going to study it. We are going to fight it. We are going to defeat it. There will not be a had I known in this Biafran course of this last time. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Lie. It's not going to happen. If your leg or your eyes or your hand or whatever is going to lead you to had I know, cut it off. Who are these people? How can you describe them? These people are often useful idiots or what they call willing tools. Useful idiots or willing tools that has been positioned to be used by other enemies, by bigger enemies that don't want to show their face. Like all the people we want to get our freedom away from them. All the people you can think of. I don't want to list anybody here. All the people you can think of. They are positioned to be used by these people, by foreign powers, by clandestine organization, by intelligence organization. They want to use them. And they will appear in all manner of shining armors. They speak the best English, dress well, charismatic, nice, singing all the things that you want to hear. But these people are being funded. You will see the level of followership they are able to pull on social media within a short time, and you are shocked. It's because they are heavily funded. They come on space just like we do, and they pay for ad, and they are everywhere. They are funded. So, of all the battle we must win, you need to win the enemies within first. It is important, and it is important to start from your mind. From your mind. Very, very important. And we must defeat them. Dr. Kekwe, please. You want to share something with us that you have requested?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and thanks once again for this great program, great platform for us to interact. I would like to say that what is happening in the movement at this point is not unexpected when we know that the beauty of what we are seeking. We are seeking liberty, liberty for ourselves, for our families, and for generations to come. And of course, we'll have strong opponents. So it's not unusual that what is happening is happening. But what is the most important is that IPOB as a movement should always rise up to the occasion to defeat whatever the challenge that is being thrown in her way. Over the years, there has been consistent, attack to pull this movement down. But thank God that this leadership, and of course, by the special help of God, Chukwu Okeabiama, we've withstand what is being thrown at us. This particular recent attack from what we can call enemy from within, yes, is quite a difficult one. But I believe if we remove emotion, use our brain, and follow the strategy from leadership, this also will pass. Because we need to understand, what is happening. They've used people that probably were, in quote, outsiders or people that recently joined IPOB to try in the past, and that did not work. Unfortunately, in a movement as big as IPOB, people will join the movement with different, what do you call it, different reasons. Some will come in for interest, just to what we call in Nigeria, notice me. Some will come, whether I want to believe it or not. There are some of the people, or some of, let me even say it, some of people in this movement that probably came in thinking that there is big money to be made and they're interested in making money, you know. So people came in for different personal and selfish reasons. And of course, a lot of people came in for the genuine reason. The genuine reason being to restore Biafra as a sovereign nation. And I mean, that is what attracted most of us. And I think that is what Nnamdi Kanu was preaching that made us come into the struggle. So what I have find out in this struggle is that the system as it is built have a way of bringing out people that have selfish reasons for coming in, and they find out that eventually the system will bring them out. They will engage in one thing or the other that will make leadership to bring them up and either suspend them or expel them outrightly. And once that is happening, of course, the enemies from our opponents will see them as a useful tool to destabilize the the movement, and that is exactly what is happening. Most of the people that are being used now are people that are grossly indisciplined fellows that have no way of continuing the movement, especially as the movement is evolving. You know, as movement is evolving, certain people cannot cope with the level at which the movement has find itself. So obviously they can't cope. So they will be weeded out, and then they become willing tools for the opposition to use. So I think that is exactly what is happening in the movement. So, but to me, what interests me is not really what is more or less what is happening, because I believe it's bound to happen. What interests me is how do IPOB handle what is happening, and I think that is where we should look at, because what is happening is just like distraction. What the movement should be focusing on is, you know, policies that will bring us close to our goal. What are those policies? We should continue our discussion or awareness towards Christian genocide. We should start building structures in our place. The agricultural revolution we are trying to bring, educational things we are trying to push in our land, influencing the political landscape in our land, focusing on things that will make the movement the movement attractive to willing partners. You know, because if we continue to allow this distraction to go on, it will remove our focus on the what we should be doing, and that is what our enemies want us to be doing, to be focusing on all these shenanigans that these enemies are being used to perpetuate and distract us. So I think the leadership should call the movement together to say there should be restraint in how we respond to those enemies, because recently what they are trying to do now, for example, attacking Ejiofor, our lawyer, is trying to provoke him to be angry, and in that state maybe make a wrong move or make a wrong statement. And not only Ejiofor, even other IPO members are trying to poke and poke and poke, so that we'll make a wrong misstep and say, oh, it's your fault, and we should exercise restraint, and we should debunk them, but to a reasonable extent, without making it backfire on the movement. Because I believe this recent attack now, trying to bring issue of account, trying to make it look as if the account of IPOB is being mismanaged by the leadership, but actually we know what really happened. But they are making it look the other way around. that is an indirect way of discouraging members from probably paying their dues, because they come up with that narrative before. Don't pay your dues, it's not necessary. But try to go this way further is trying to bring people's mind off the idea that they need to pay their dues. So what I'm trying to say, let me not take too much time, is that true IPOB, genuine IPOB members should know that this is bound to happen. We should not let it affect what we do. We should continue to be up to date with our dues, with all the commitments we're meant to do in this struggle, focusing on the real task in front of us, which is to restore Biafra. And as you rightly pointed out, which is correct, if anybody that has sense will know that the best way to bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out is to restore Biafra as quick as we can. Because once that is done, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a free man. But before then, it's not likely. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Even this court process, after Supreme Court has judged this case and said go back to High Court, it should be done on everybody that there's no pathway legally to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The only reasonable way, this is my personal opinion, is if we focus on restoring Biafra as a sovereign nation, then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be a free man. You understand? So if you look at even the impending appeal, you can see the direction is going already. You can see the people that are being constituted as the appeal court judge. That would tell you where it is going, And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, my current lawyer, might actually be causing all this distraction because they know where the thing is going, and they know it was their fault that what has happened, and they're not trying to put it on somebody else. So if you look at all those shenanigans happening, we should know that they're trying to distract us. So in summary, what I would like to say is that yes, what is happening is happening, but we should approach it cautiously with a lot of strategic thinking so that it will not spoil things for us. Like they say in Igbo land, Odudu Beri Namu. That is how it is now. So we should know how to, tease things out and not cause a major problem for the movement while we focus on the real issues at hand. I will yield at this point.
Thank you. Thank you, Mazi Ekekwe, Dr. Ekekwe. Thank you so much. Mazi, the splinter cells and the enemy within we are talking about this evening, all of us, without calling names, all of us know who they are. And the worst enemy a human being or organization can have in this life is enemy within, internal enemy. When it's outside enemy, external enemy, it's very easy to locate them. It's very easy to know them. But internal enemy is enemy that you will be very, very careful to treat because they are inside you already. For example, like when you are treating those of us in Africa, when you have a little bit headache, you go and drink a paracetamol without going to check up to know if it is typhoid or any other thing. So these things that is happening today, we have saw and seen it for long. Even Mazi Chinasa have been writing, but most of us will come out maybe to think that it's just for writing purpose. This IPOB leadership, the intelligent report, they always report. I never see anyone that failed. The enemy within today is when you are joining a group or organization, and the first thing you have to do as a human being is to target what will enter into your pocket or what you use to sustain you being a member or seeing yourself as the highest person after maybe God. That organization will never work well. As in the Bible, remember, Igbo people is very hard to control us. Even in our community today, you will see a king trying to judge matter because of this person, you don't know this person. As an Igbo man, you will not accept it. Before you know it, you will take that matter to court or to police station. That is the kind of stubbornness we are as Igbo race. So the enemy within we are talking about today is left for me and you, everybody here, every individual, to know the truth and to know when they are coming and to know who is who, even me that is talking today. Because they are within, they are inside, not external, inside. And the funny thing of it is they always concur Ashiri Joku. I always call that thing Ashiri Joku because if you are not careful, it look very, very similar like truth. It look like truth. You have to be very, very careful or manage that information to understand that this is a very big lie. So what we are talking today in social media space or discussing here today is all of us to pay attention to know when they dish out Ashiri Joku, like I always call it. Because that is misinformation that makes some of our people today to join that enemy within. I mean the smaller people of IPOB. I'm not talking those high ones that always get their information wherever they get it. But our people, like IPOB families, maybe the Zuna members, misinformation is not good as it stands now in IPOB, in this particular organization. I must say it. Any information you can tell them that is truth. One Nekuoya, say it first. God will bear you witness that you have said it. But we are trying to keep calm, saying, oh, let us manage it. Our people, enemy within, we distract them. That is ideology. Talking to them today, talking to them tomorrow, talking to them next tomorrow, they will concur to that thing they are saying. But we are here today to tell our people, learn how to come and make a call, ask questions, not ignorant questions, not question of hatred because he hate the HOD or because he hate China Sanwodu or because he hate Abanim. No. Ask questions as a human being so that you will get the answer. Because we all are human beings. Anytime the good question come, we do know. Anytime the hatred question come, we know. So, Mazi Chinedu, I saw you first raising up your hand. I'm going to give you this mic for 5 minutes. Mazi, go ahead.
Bless every one of us. And, just as I used to say, this very struggle or this very, Biafran restoration, if we do not do it, we do not stand up for ourselves, our children and our future generation, there is nobody that will do it for us. After
Mazi, I don't think, am I the only person that is not hearing him, please? I don't know, Mazi Chinedu. We lost you.
I cannot hear him too.
Oh, okay. Radio Biafra, okay, are you back? Okay,
this unity
we are,
and
okay.
uproar. So better be it that it may be, I think that this very struggle and the IPOB
There is a problem on your connection. I'm going to leave you until when you are okay. Just raise up your hand again. I will come back to you. Before then, yes, let me go to IPOB. I think this IPOB Dakar before Black and White. IPOB Dakar, please go ahead.
Okay, good evening, great comrades. Good evening, the listeners. This very topic is a topic that everyone has to, use his mind and his eye to look deep into. And that very first topic, enemies within, in a movement of this very magnitude, or in any movement or in any organization, who are the enemies and what are the intentions of the enemies within? These are the questions that most of us should be ringing. These are the questions that should be ringing in the heart of most of us. Who are the enemies within and what are their interests? And when you look at these two questions, when you look from the angle of their interests, it is very, very simple. Sometimes, for example, you work in organization as a team. Most of the times, the enemy within in that organization are those who does not want you to grow from that organization. Those whom your promotion in organization pays. Number one, they are not the one paying you salary. Number two, they are not the one that employs you. But your progress or your contribution for the growth of that organization pays them, or any recommendation given to you in such organization pays them because it does not come from them. When you see these characters, it is simple, clear that these are the enemies within that organization. The organization might not be their own establishment, but as far as every progress idea brought forward is not from them, they can never feel happy for the progress for that organization. And these are the real enemies of that organization because they don't want to grow. They don't want to grow in that organization except that such growth comes from them. Now, when we look at our struggle today, you see we have battled numerous kind of enemies within. Some of them are enemies being deceived by misinformation. Like most of the enemies that fought against this very leadership of IPOB or IPOB itself during Simon Ekpa, 90 or 80 or 70% of them were misinformed. Some of them were gullible. Some of their actions were acts of misinformation, and they carried it out. Now, in this very present one, we are today, after beating down the Simon Ekpa, a group of people, another enemy arose. Now the question, what are the real interests of these enemies? Because everything, the level through which this movement has attained this very particular period does not require these unnecessary things that are coming up. Now that will bring you to a question of what are the real interests of these people. And when you look through it, you will understand that their interest is never for Biafra restoration never for Biafra to be restored. The only true interest is it must be me. Without me, Biafra cannot be restored. Another interest is, why should he be this member of leadership of IPOB, or why should he be that member of leadership of IPOB without me? When these characters you are seeing today are coming up, some of them were, encouraged by individual loyalty to become an enemy within of the organization they have fought to protect before. And that is where we must continue to look into. That is where we must continue to, talk about, especially individual loyalty and institutional loyalty. Individual loyalty can arouse enemy within an organization because there are some people who believes that without this particular person, Biafra cannot be restored. And from there, you see their own opinion of, and from there, you begin to see their own, how do I put it? You begin to realize that these individuals who have become enemy of the organization they fought, they came in because of a particular person, not for the Biafra restoration. So what we are suffering today has plenty areas that when we begin to break it down about enemy within, it will touch a lot of things. It will touch a lot of things. But because
Mazi, IPOB, Dakar, I don't know. I don't know. We lost you. Am I the only one?
No, we can hear him as well.
Oh, okay. Please, Mazi Chinedu, make sure your internet is okay, please, so that we can hear you better. Go ahead.
Mazi, I hope I'm coming out clearly now.
Yes, Mazi, we are clear now.
Please, I'm calling from the zoo. You should know what is obtainable there. The zoo is a place where there is no light,
Okay, Mazi, I
no
understand.
healthcare,
We understand.
nothing functions. So please, you people should bear with me. So Mazi, as I was saying, you see that these people, just as one of our speakers said here, that if you are discussing with these people, you must, engage them intellectually. It must not be something that they start bugging you and you now go out of point, because these people are people that has no agenda. They are always here to see that the overall effort of this very leadership or this very struggle is being, derailed. And that is what we are not ready to allow. And I must applaud every member of this organization, the leadership, the media houses, every one of them. Because if you watch, just like the days and weeks when their nonsense things came up, if you watch, it seems as if most of the posts and the internet discussions now wants to shift. But I think we have seen these kind of things, and we know how they operate, and we know their objective, which is to come and cause confusion. But I think the time of Ekberima and the time of others have taught even those non-IPOB and sympathizers a very good lesson. And that is why I must not take away all of these things that is coming, because these things, if it not come, there are the kind of knowledge that most of us portray today that we wouldn't have portrayed. It is good theory. The physical aspects should be there in order to make you understand the theory aspect that you have been taught. So these people and all their activities have helped to even make most of the broadcasts, most of our exposition to have meaning. Because if you watch when they were saying Izukamana Neji and all the things that transpired in the court, it has even made when people find out that these people are, they one time one of my friends was asking me, is there a when he man's in the kanu Madam Mage. But this person doesn't engage in all of these issues, but it is out of their own deeds that made people to understand it. So anytime you see them come around, there are evidences. Even non-IPOB have it, non-media members have it. So that is why if you engage them openly with facts, with evidences, and another thing we should watch out for, they have ate all the money that is in their possession. So, and they are trying to cover the ones they have, done. So we that will have all of these, their previous evidences, we should keep it, because keep it on their own understanding or knowing, because sometimes they say this thing in order to know what you have inside against them. But we should not allow them, because we are not kids. The deed has been done. Mazen Kanu is in their disposal, and they have ended up in jailing him. So all of these things that they are just saying just required few words, and you leave them. The main purpose here is the Christian genocide, the Biafran restoration, the Nigerian disintegration, the terrorists that is going about killing people, and which we have not gone far from. And the Nigerian state, which is sending them, is on the side waiting to pounce on any information they will have. This one they're talking of account. They pay to this, they pay to this. These things are implications. And you don't just think that they don't know what they are doing. They know what they are doing because there are people that sent them. But as I said, we are not new in all of these things. They are just few in numbers. No, just as you might think that they have anything saying, or they have people that they are with. No, there are this saying that say the empty drum make the widest and loudest noise. We are precise in what we are doing. Our focus is in Biafra restoration. And whatever that comes our way, we just do a few exposition to let the people knows our dealings on what they are saying. Then with those few words, you see that they will go away. I don't know if you have listened to those people. Even non-IPOB members, people that doesn't even know anything, looks at them like fools. Some they even ask them, "Are you okay?" Because this will sound very irritating. And I don't know where this will come from if you ask me. That is why sometimes if I come across their post, I come across them in a conversation, it weakens me. I have more strength to discuss about the things that is happening happening in globally, happening to Biafrans. I have more strength. Nigerian government doing in the East, especially this one now, they have sent their people, their military, their DSS, they are bombing of Imo State and all of those things. But when this will come, it weakens me because I don't see anything. I know their motive and I know. I don't think I have my strength is to come and but that doesn't mean that we should keep silent. And I applaud the leaders, just as I've said, and I will leave it at that very place.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We have a lot of hands up here. That's why I want to, at least we should give everybody the opportunity to speak on this particular matter before we go to the second topic. Mazi, you said about evidences, maybe attacking them back to back with evidences. I want to make it clear. Yes, giving evidence is very good when somebody accuses you, but sometimes when we remember people like you that is at home there, some of us here, there is evidence they want us to provide. It will affect everybody, both Dick and Harry, if you don't know. I'm just saying it on Twitter now for some of us to know. That is the why they are pushing us to bring all those, like, let me give an example, like Ifeanyi Ejiofor. That account, that evidence they want Ifeanyi to bring, if Ifeanyi eventually bring it as it's supposed to be, my brother, some of our comrades, hardcore comrades, we know what really happened. We be in the mess, we be in problem. EFCC will invite them again, especially those at home. You see why sometimes working area really so they know what they are doing, as you said. But sometimes when you want to bring that evidence for the world to see what is going on, you remember your people you are going to put in the same problem, which Biafrans will come back tomorrow to blame you. You will still endure. That is what this leadership are passing through today. Not that the evidences are not there, but if you bring it when the time is not right, my brother, you will mess everything up. So I think I have two people before Mazi Dondok. I don't know if you're the first or our brother. I saw a name here. Okay, Dondok, after you, please. Boyan Kenke, the special one, I think.
Yeah, when we talk about the enemy within and the rise of splinter cells and the agent provocateur, just 2 seconds. There's something you said which I agree with you that we have to tackle them head on. We don't have to leave them because what we did, for example, in TikTok, we have curtailed them. Even some of our sisters and our brothers are the one now challenging them, not even the IPOP, are challenging them. Wherever we see them at neutral platform, we engage them there to, to expose them that they are no longer IPOB member. They are all expelled IPOB members. They are now impersonating, trying to deceive our people that as if they are part of IPOB, movement. So is a good thing that we're supposed to be keep talking, educating our people, to exposing them, so that our people will not fall victims of their lies, their deceptions. And who are these enemy within? The splinter cells. These are people in IPOP who has a different ideology, maybe came with a criminal mindset, or they came with a violent mindset. IPOP is a non-violent movement. Because of their ideology do not align with our own ideology, some of them was expelled or given indefinite suspensions. And having been removed from the organizations by omission or commission, they now started doing the bidding. They become agent provocateurs, working for the government who wants to destroy IPOP. And these are what they are currently doing. Their main goal is to destabilize IPOP. They create all sorts of confusion using lies and propaganda to see if they could able to destroy the movement. But unfortunately, they came late because we saw them early. We noticed their antics. We noticed their direction. We noticed what they are doing. And we started early and started educating our people. Even all these shenanigans, they are trying to, provoke our lawyer to, react. Yeah, we understand that. We understand the game they are playing. But the one of the mindful thing that we are still not happy about, even me personally, which I have seen all these things going on X, seeing the siblings of Mazi posting all these things on X, even attacking Lord Uchechi, and yet, does it mean the head is not seeing that? Does it mean he has not heard about that? Why this silence? But when it's other way around about the leadership or the IPOP, all hell loosed. These are the things we are still asking. Is that area still whiter than white and whiter than snow, as we all proclaim? Is there something fundamental we need to, start working towards to understand what is going on? Because this cannot be keep going on. It become from one particular family, become a problem for every Biafra. We cannot have that. We cannot accept that kind of thing. A lot of people has died. There's a post Tina Sanworu made where this guy, I forgot his name, he's on drug loss. He give a witness statement how at the age of 16, he lost his family. And these are the people why we came out to fight to leave Nigeria, because it is not a honorable thing to be in a country where you will be unalive because of your ethnic origin, or because of your religious belief, or because of your political view. It is not acceptable in this DNA, and that's why we are doing what we are doing, because we want to preserve our life. We want to preserve the life of the future generation. A lot of millions of people has this kind of stories where, because
Please,
they are living in Nigeria,
very
because
short.
they are Christians, and because they are from another ethnic background, they are being killed. And now while we are doing this, we understand why the enemy within are fighting to make sure that we do not achieve our end game. But the question still lies that there are something fundamentally wrong within the head, which we have to start calling it out, because we cannot leave anything untouched. If we claim we are whiter than white and whiter than snow, we have to be calling it out. Mazindewo.
Yeah, IPOB Dundalk, thank you so much. I know you are in the work. I can see the distraction. We have gotten your point, Mazi. Your brothers, your comrades, listeners are here to answer you that question. We are not going to be the one. So, but before I call the name I saw here, the special one, please. I have a black and white that came before and he left. I think he's also at work. Black and white, because so that we can be able to accommodate all these our brothers. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi. I'm at work. I think you mentioned me earlier. I don't know. Thank you very much for bringing me in. I want to welcome everybody to this today's episode of our program, and it's my pleasure to be here today. Also my pleasure to receive the privilege to make my contribution. As for many who have been in IPOB for a very long time, we all know that waves of events come regularly like this. We've seen series of events come and go, controversies here and there. But what is important for me is for everybody who believes in the struggle to continue to pitch their tent in the right place, because at the end of the day, the battle had always been to fight the leadership and nothing more. The battle had always been how to bring the leadership of IPOB down. We must be mindful of that, because they understand that under this umbrella of the leadership, we'll be able to find the right direction. But the moment we are all scattered, if we allow them to succeed, uh, everything will be over. So it's all about fight against the leadership. The unfortunate part of this fight is that the fight is coming from unexpected quarters. People we didn't expect could be involved in this kind of a thing because they have soiled their hands, they have mismanaged IPOB fund, they have mismanaged our resources, and they are avoiding accountability. So all the whole fight, all the whole story about internal whatever is because somebody doesn't want to give account of how resources have been spent, what was used, and how they were managed. And that is why they're also flying the Ifeanyi for ticket all over the place to divert attention from the reality. But for the fact that they have started to bring out receipts now, we want to see all the receipts, because you cannot bring some and leave some behind. We are talking about the resources of Biafrans. And if we have to build an egalitarian society, now is the time to start holding people accountable, especially those who are in charge of our patrimony as a people. Because if we don't do it now, we will not be able even to do it when Biafra come. So that is the point. They don't want to tell us how money was spent, how resources, what was done. Because it is only now that we are even beginning to see this leadership putting concrete structures in place with what they have at their disposal, being able to buy structures. This one now not be rent, buying structures in the name of IPOB. We didn't see when we had millions of euros and dollars in our account. Then we have reason to ask questions. What happened? How? And that is where they are running away from. But we have to continue to push to make sure that while we're also not being distracted by this, we'll continue to make sure that we demand for accountability, because that is the basis for the whole dispute we are seeing today. Thank you very much.
Mazi Black and White, thank you so much. Radio Biafra, alerting me when you are free. Huh? I want to, I think I have that our brother, I don't know, he said the special one. Mazi, please go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Very clear, Mazi.
Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your time zone and your location. I just want to chip in something for every one of the citizens of the people of Biafra. Some people misunderstand the ideology and the movement called IPOB. That is why we are having problem within ourselves. When they say indigenous people of Biafra, it's not citizen by birth. These are indigenous people, the same culture with the same value, who have common goals. So I see no reason why some people will say these people are IPOB and these people are not IPOB. For you to say that, meaning that you are denying your children that these ones are my children and these ones.
I don't know if we are hearing this, our brother. I don't know. I think we have lost him. We have lost him like always. I noticed that he's in zoo. That is zoo for you. Yes, we have lost him totally. Please, Mazi, I think Ojugo, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Maz, am I coming out clear?
You are coming out clearly, Mazi. There.
I want to thank everybody, the host and the listeners. I just have a few things to talk about. First of all, I want to ask, I'm once more possible because now some of my words maybe can go to. I will also use Igbo language.
Maazị ọwụ onye Igbo ka ewu sụọ Igbo ahụ ka onye ọbụla zuo ike sụọ ya ọwụ nke eji mụọ gị.
Ihe m chọrọ ịjụ bụ biko ụmụnne Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ndị asị na ha bụ nwanne ọ bụ ofu nne mụrụ ndị a mụrụ ha na Nnamdi Kanu like ya bụ ihe m chọrọ ịjụ mebi ọ bụrụ onye nwe contact with them na m sosi ofu nne mụrụ ndị a with Nnamdi Kanu. Then another thing bụ because ihe m chọrọ ikwu adịkwa much amarọ m because na just bido wee gebe and o nwere ihe m nụrụ from ngwa bụ the host na maybe I got to the second chapter, but I am to look now. We got to the last one self because our suggestion come to email. Ma ndị Igbo si.
Gị ma na Maazị gị ma na ị ga-enwe ndidi anyị rụzie na that side. Ya kpọlitekwe gị.
Nsogbu adọrọkwa because never come to this because I have only 3 things to say.
Ịrọshia dị ụka Rọshia na ya hapụzie this topic gawazie nke ahụ. Mgbe ahụ ọ dịlanụ mma. So ị ga-enwe anyị ndidi anyị ruo ebe ahụ echefula ya ruo ebe ahụ ga-eduwazi anyị.
Okay, so but I don't get any point. Kamalo boy when was that going because I back I'm trying to hit my main point. Thank you.
Ndewo. Maazị, I think I have Maazị Trader, yes. Maazị Trader, go ahead. I do call everybody Maazị, so so I don't know who is you, but I can see Trader here. You're raising your hand. If you can hear us, please go ahead. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Okay. Yeah, I want to talk about Maazị Uchemefo, George Onibe, and there's one other